So, you got to prep for the SAT. Why? Well, higher scores are going to give you a lot more options when it comes to applying to college. And lower scores are, well, not what you're looking for. But test day is coming, and you can't hit your target score unless you practice. Now, every study that's ever been done on this topic shows that there is a direct correlation between the number of practice tests you take and the size of your improvement. Well, duh. Taking the SAT is a skill. And like any skill, it requires practice to master. Now, you could go get yourself a drill bank and answer hundreds of questions, but that's not necessarily going to raise your score. In fact, it may take up a ton of time and just end up reinforcing bad habits. Now, when it comes to practicing for the SAT, or any other skill for that matter, there are two rules that count. Number one, practice like it's test day. What does this mean? You need high quality, full length tests that mimic the real thing in every way. Just like you can't practice soccer with a beach ball, or you can't practice football with a Nerf, or you can't practice the clarinet with, well, you get the idea. You need good tests, and then you've got to practice like it counts. Now, there are a lot of companies out there promising you 40 practice tests or hundreds of practice problems. But first of all, they're all generated by AI, and so often they don't even mimic the real thing. Heck, most of them don't even have a Desmos calculator. So you need to take high quality tests that mimic what you're going to see on test day. Okay, and rule number two, feedback is critical. Now, we've already mentioned that doing the same thing over and over again is just as likely to reinforce bad habits as it is to build good ones. Each test needs to tell you exactly what went right and what went wrong, so that you know what to work on and what to change before you take the next one. Now, you'll need to know where you lost points. That's obvious. Everyone's going to do that. Those are your wrong answers. But you also need to know where you lost time. The SAT, after all, is a timed test. And the issue of timing gets interesting. Most online tests these days will tell you how much time you spent per question, or at least I should hope they do. But time per question by itself tells you nothing. It has to be contextualized. If you took 35 seconds, let's say, to get this question right, that'd be pretty good, right? But if you took 35 seconds to get this question right, well, that might indicate a problem. So the difficulty of the question matters. And the other thing that has to be taken into account is the skill level of the student. When looking at time, the skill level matters. 35 seconds on this question for this kid would be amazing. But 35 seconds for the guys at NASA, on the other hand, might crash the space shuttle. That's why here at ScoreSmart, we've invented par time. We're going to tell you how much time you spent on a question, but then we're also going to tell you how much time the other kids spent at your target score on the same question. You will know whether you were fast or slow for a given question as compared to your peers by scoring level. Contextualizing time matters. Just because you got a question right doesn't mean that there isn't still work to be done on that question or in that category. Par time will tell you if you're good enough in a particular topic to hit your target score. Now, par time was invented by the tutoring specialists at ScoreSmart, so you won't find it anywhere else. All right, to raise your score in a smart and efficient way, you're going to need high-quality practice tests and good and insightful feedback. And that's just what we've built. Here at ScoreSmart, we've been tutoring the SAT and other digital adaptive tests for over 30 years. And as highly experienced tutors, frankly, We built the tools that we wanted to use with our own students, and we know that we succeeded. ScoreSmart is now the go-to testing engine for many of the most elite tutors in the world. These are the tutors who are charging $400, $500, $600 an hour. And this is the tool that they use for their students. Now, you might not be able to afford a $600 per hour tutor. Not many people can, but you can still use the same tools that the professionals are using and get the same feedback. The good news is, if you're not sure if you need these elite tools as part of your prep, you can try them out for free. It costs you nothing to create an account on ScoreSmart, and every student who creates an account gets the first test for free with all of the same elite level analytics. There are no licensing fees and no recurring monthly charges. You just pay for what you use. That's it. So log into ScoreSmart today to access your free, full-length, adaptive digital SAT. It's easy. It costs you nothing. Well, the test isn't easy, but it's easy to log in. It costs you nothing. And you can get the same tools that the professionals are using and start raising your scores today, the smart way.